The PvP event is finally here in Pokemon Pocket, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some decks that will counter the meta. Pikachu and Mewtwo is pretty much all you see when you play PvP in this game, so I've created some deck lists for you, or giving you some deck ideas that can help you absolutely gutter stomp these two Pokemon. Like, we are going to absolutely cook this meta. We're going to take that little yellow rat, put it in a frying pan and cook him up good. We're going to absolutely destroy these two cards with these deck ideas that I'm going to give you. Now, these aren't complete fleshed out deck lists. These are just some ideas with some key cards that I'm going to talk about, like the basic strategy for each deck. I'm going to let you be creative and like fully optimize these in your own way, because there's so many things you can do in this game. Don't copy people. It's so fun making your own stuff. Just have fun with it. Do your thing. Cook some crazy stuff up. But I've got a lot of people have said some nice things about like the content I've been trying to make for this game. Like, this has got me starting YouTube again, and I'm hyped for this game. I did get a lot of people call me out for the pack point guide that I did, because I didn't realize you can't keep the pack points that don't carry over to the next set, and that's fine. Like, call me out if I get things wrong, because I just want to make good content for this game, you know. And I have like a very like straight up we ball mentality, and I don't really fact check myself. I just go with it and just see what happens, you know, just like hope for the best. But these are some of the decks that I think are going to absolutely counter this meta and get you those 45 wins and get that sweet emblem as quick as possible. And the first one, and the deck that I'm going to be playing, is Mega Venusaur EX. So Mega Venusaur, pair it with Exeggutor EX. These two are just absolute beasts together. These two are like the perfect pairing. Exeggutor, use it early. It's so hard to kill. Only one energy attack cost is so perfect, because you can just build up the Venusaur the whole time, and Pikachu cannot kill this. If you get Venusaur charged up and you're against a Pikachu deck, you win. It's over, you win, you're done, the game's done. But Pikachu cannot kill this at all. The only way they can kill you is if they high roll on Zapdos. And I don't know if you've ever played against a Pikachu deck, which of course you have. Pikachu players don't really know what they're doing. They just kind of autopilot and attach energy to Pikachu. They never really invest anything into Zapdos. It's just kind of there to give Pikachu the extra 20 damage. I don't think Pikachu deck's good. I don't think Pikachu players really know what they're doing. They're just kind of there, like 6-year-olds who just got the game. You just want to play Pikachu. That's cool. We can just farm them, get those free wins, and get that sweet emblem. So Venusaur absolutely stomps Pikachu. The matchup into Mewtwo is pretty decent as well. Mewtwo can two-shot Venusaur, but we two-shot Mewtwo back. So most Mewtwo decks fully invest into their Mewtwo. Some run Jinx, which I think is pretty cool. I do in mine. Jinx is not going to kill Exeggutor. They really have to use their Mewtwo to kill Exeggutor. So because Mewtwo cannot one-shot Venusaur and you two-shot it, you have a good matchup into Mewtwo EX. So what you want to do with this deck, you want to keep Venusaur at the back, and then force them to bring in their Mewtwo first, and then you can bring in Venusaur, get the first hit off, and then you're good to go. So one thing you want to do on this deck, and something you have to be very careful of, is Sabrina counters this deck almost more than any other. So the way to beat Venusaur is to actually Sabrina. So once the Venusaur's out and the Exeggutor is dead, you just need to kill one more thing. So what you have to do is Sabrina the Exeggutor, Sabrina the Venusaur out, bring something in, kill it. So what you want to do is, when you have Venusaur out, if you can, if possible, try and make sure you don't have anything on your bench so you can't be Sabrinaed. But then it's tricky, right? Because if you don't have anything out there and you're just building up the Venusaur, they can easily Sabrina your Venusaur up to the active before it's ready. So that's how you counter this deck. So you have to see and just kind of play around that if you can, and just watch out for that, because if you get your Venusaur up, you just kind of win. So watch out for that. And if you don't have these cards, I have a budget deck for you. We have regular Venusaur with Lilligant and Kangaskhan, and you can swap in Exeggutor, the regular one, if you wanted to. Now, the reason we don't have Exeggutor EX is because why would you ever play the regular Venusaur over the EX version? The HP is worse. The attack is worse. The only reason you play it is because you give up one prize card. Now, if you're playing Exeggutor EX usually just stays out there till it dies, because you don't have time to attach extra energy onto it to then use the XP to retreat it, because you're spending so much time giving all your energies to Venusaur. So once you get Exeggutor out there, it kind of just goes in, does damage until it dies. If you're playing Venusaur and it dies, you lose the game. It doesn't matter if it's the regular or the EX. So that means you lose all the value that you could have gotten from this regular Venusaur being a 1 prize card Pokemon. So what you want to do is you want to pair it with 1 prize cards. So when one of them dies, you can use the Venusaur, it will die, and then you're still good to go. And if you can get 2 Venusaurs out, that is where you get all the value from using the base Venusaur. So you want to pair it with 1 card, 1 point cards. So don't give up 2 points by playing an EX card. Use Lilligant, use Kangaskhan, use the regular Exeggutor if you want to. I don't really know which is better because I haven't experimented too much with this, whether it comes to like Exeggutor, Lilligant, or Kangaskhan. Which 2 of the combination of 3 is the which combination of 2 out of the 3 is the best? I kind of lean Kangaskhan, Lilligant, but Exeggutor is still fun. So the reason I think this is still okay into Mewtwo is you still 2-shot it and it doesn't 1-shot you, so it's kind of like the same vibe unless they have Giovanni. Sort of like the similar vibe to the other one. You just want to get the first hit in and you should be okay. And yeah, Pikachu still has a very tough time killing this thing. It's pretty much almost the same matchup. You should be able to beat Pikachu very easily. And the next deck we have is Machamp EX. So this is why I don't understand why people play Pikachu, because it has so many matchups where it just like cannot win. Like it just cannot beat Machamp EX. This deck is just awesome, and it's actually pretty decent into Mewtwo, even though it has a psychic weakness. So Machamp lives a hit from Mewtwo, even with the weakness. It needs a Giovanni to kill it. And Marowak has 100 HP, so it doesn't get 1-shot by Pikachu unless they Giovanni. Now, how does Machamp have like a 50-50 matchup into Mewtwo? Well, it needs a Giovanni to 1-shot you. But if you Hitmonlee, if you stretch kick that Mewtwo in the back while they're still building it up, you can 1-shot it with Machamp EX. So they need the Giovanni, you need the Hitmonlee, you both 1-shot each other. It's a pretty even matchup. And then you have the Marowak in there that is very good against Pikachu. Machamp is very good against Pikachu. You should destroy Pikachu. Mewtwo is going to be a 50-50. But once you've played against Mewtwo enough with this deck, you're going to get a feel for it, and I think you'll start winning more than you lose. This deck is just fun. Machamp is very slept on. It is awesome. The reason you run regular Marowak over the EX is because it is a 1 energy attack cost. So I don't like running the EX here. I like the regular one. If you want to run the EX version, just don't run it in a Machamp deck. Just bring its own deck. Do something else with it. The regular is better in this, just for this deck, because it pairs better with Machamp, because you don't have to invest so much energy into it. And yeah, use your stretch kicks on the Mewtwo. You'll be able to 1-shot it with Machamp. This is just solid deck, very solid. Double X speed is very good here too. So just being able to keep your stuff alive, keep Machamp alive, keep the Hitmonlee alive, keep it in the back for stuff when you need to, like, it's just solid. Double X speed is very good here too. Next is Charizard EX. Now, I haven't played a lot of Charizard EX. A lot more of you probably have. A lot more of you probably know how to do this better than I do, and there's probably no tips I can give you that could help you play it better than I can. But if you haven't played it, you probably know that the Moltres is weak to electric. So this makes the Pikachu matchup a little bit sketchy, but you're still pretty much fine. Like, this Pikachu still doesn't 1-shot Moltres, but it's very fast Pikachu, right? So it's very aggressive. So make sure you run some X speed so you can get that Moltres out quick, and hopefully you've got enough energy onto Charizard to build it up and start wrecking people. Of course, you 1-shot Mewtwo. Mewtwo can't 1-shot you back. So out of all the decks I've listed, this probably has the best matchup into Mewtwo, I think. I still like Venusaur's matchup into it, but I think this just outright 1-shotting Mewtwo and not getting 1-shot back in return is just solid. It's just solid. Sabrina, of course, is really good. The reason I have Sabrina here is because I didn't really know what other Pokemon to put there. I feel like you only just run Charizard and Charmander because you want to get those two out as quickly as possible. You want to get them at the beginning of the game, you want to get them with your Pokeballs. You don't really want to be drawing anything else because these two are like very pivotal to the deck right here. So another thing, just a little tip, which most of you probably already know, but if you haven't played this before, if you can, put 5 energies on Charizard, so when you use your Crimson Storm, all you have to do is attach again to fire off another one. So put 5 energies on it if you can, not just 4. If you have to risk Moltres dying to put an extra energy onto it, I would, depending on the matchup and like depending if your Charizard is going to get 1-shot or 2-shot back in return, depending on how weak it is or like who you're up against, I would probably just protect Moltres unless you really need it, which I don't know if you're going to, but you'll know in the matchup what you need to do. But for the most part, I would say try and keep Moltres alive. Next we have the budget fire deck. If you don't have Charizard EX, use Center Scorch, because everyone has Center Scorch. I have like 20 of them, and everyone has Rapidash. I have like 20 of them. This deck's really good. This is like one of the first decks I ever made. This destroys Pikachu. You one-shot Pikachu, Pikachu cannot one-shot you. Rapidash is so good in this deck, just for the exact same reason as it's good at the Ninetales deck. Because with Ninetales, just like Center Scorch, when you attack, you have to discard an energy, so you have to keep attaching to this, just chain attacks, right? So when it dies, you have to bring something up. Because you've been chaining the energy onto Center Scorch, you have nothing built up in the back. So Rapidash is good because you only have to attach 1 energy onto it. So you can have no energy on to Rapidash. You can bring it up, attach to it, and attack. Another reason it's good is because Center Scorch into Rapidash will one-shot Mewtwo. So you can pair those two together to get the kill on Mewtwo. And yeah, Moltres is just there to charge up the Center Scorch. This deck is it is so important that you do not let Moltres die. You cannot let Moltres die under any circumstance. Because if Moltres dies, and then you can't kill Mewtwo EX, because once Mewtwo EX comes in or gets a kill on Center Scorch, you got nothing. The game is done. You lose because you've already given up 2 points. You need to keep Moltres safe, and you need to keep it alive, and you need to make sure you have something else on the bench so you can't get Sabrinaed into Moltres and then lose the game because they've Sabrinaed your Moltres. So make sure you always have another little Sizzlipede and your like Ponyta on the bench or something, so you can just sacrifice them if they use a Sabrina. Do not let them kill your Moltres under any circumstance. And the next deck I have is it's a little bit of Copium. I've been puffing on the Copium hard, but it's my favorite Pokemon, so I've tried to make a deck to make it work, and I actually kind of think it works in this event, and that is the Starmie EX Gyarados Golduck. Now, we all know Starmie's good. Starmie's insane. It's a better Pikachu. I don't know why people play Pikachu and not Starmie. It's insane. We all know Starmie's good. That's fine. But the Gyarados is my favorite card that I don't see anyone playing, and I think it could be kind of good here. So this is the deck that I built to try and make Gyarados work, but the problem was I never used Gyarados because I just kept winning with Starmie and Golduck. Like, they're just so good. They're just good together, man. They're just so fast, they're aggressive. It's just a better Pikachu. Now, the reason I like this, even though this is weak to Pikachu, it doesn't die. It does not die to Pikachu. Pikachu does 110 damage to this with a Giovanni. It will not one-shot Pikachu. You do not one-shot back. But Starmie into Golduck will kill Pikachu. Starmie into Golduck, or vice versa, will kill a Mewtwo. So you want to start with Golduck if you can in the Mewtwo matchup, or if you can get Golduck to get damage onto the Mewtwo, have it die, and then you can get Starmie to come in and finish off the Mewtwo. And then you've got a full HP Starmie there, ready to go, all charged up, and you're going to be in a really good spot. So into Pikachu, pretty much the same thing. As long as you finish off that Pikachu with Starmie, you're in a really strong position. Now, here's where the Gyarados comes in. If you kit Mewtwo with a Hyper Beam after it's killed your Starmie or something, and you discard an energy from it, it cannot chain those big attacks because it loses 2 energy from the attack and then another one from the Gyarados' attack. When it attaches and then Gardevoirs, it's only going to have 3 energies onto it, and you will counter Mewtwo that way. So this deck, it's just good into Pikachu. Well, it's even against Pikachu, right? Because it doesn't one-shot you, and you don't one-shot it, but you can kind of like, if you position yourself better than the Pikachu deck does, which you probably can because it's all played by 6-year-olds, on their mother's phone, you can kind of beat them. So I have faith in you all to beat the Pikachus and get like a 60% win rate against Pikachu. But I feel like the Gyarados might come into play with the Mewtwo deck. Now I only run one Magikarp and one Gyarados, and the reason I do that is because Magikarp fucking sucks, dude. The reason I think Gyarados is not played very much is because Magikarp is the worst Pokemon. It feels so bad, and you pretty much just lose the game if you get Magikarp in your hand and you have to put that into the active spot to start the game. Yeah, you pretty much just lose. So that's why I run one Magikarp instead of two. And if I'm running one Magikarp, I'm only gonna ever build up one Gyarados. So I just play one Gyarados. And if I've positioned myself correctly, and I play around the free retreat cost with Starmie and Golduck, hopefully I can have time to build up the Gyarados. That's why I run two Misties. Misties with Starmie is absolutely broken. It is nuts. Just getting an attack with Starmie when you wouldn't be able to will just win you the game. So Misty and Starmie, insane together. This deck, it's nice. It's cool. Don't run too many Magikarps because it will just kill you. If you have to lead with a Magikarp, you might as well just concede. But yeah, it's a fun deck. I really like it. I'm puffing on the copium playing Gyarados, but I have hope that it can kind of counter Mewtwo. The vision's there. You just got to get it set up. But if you can, this is very nice into Mewtwo, and you can still two-shot it with a Golduck into a Starmie. So these are my decks to counter the meta. Hopefully you all do well. Hope you like these deck ideas. You can flesh them out and you can test them out and like optimize them in your own way. But hopefully that gives you like a good like baseline sort of some things you can do. So yeah, hopefully you like it. I was just about to make a video on like the things they need to do in this game when they desperately need to add some more PvP stuff, and then I saw this event drop. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to scrap that video and I'm going to make this one. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.